All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to something new that I'm trying. This is the random midweek Blitzkrieg, where I'm just going to fucking randomly, whenever I have time, to come on and do a live, do some updates, kind of catch up with shit that I'm behind on, and some new stuff that's happening right now. I want to try this out. Normally, I also have throughout the week short updates about what's going on. There's also the Sunday Shitbag Roundup, 9 p.m. at 9 p.m. on Sundays. And then this new one, the Blitzkrieg, that I want to try out roughly in the afternoon time. I hate these other guys like the Quartering who try to oh, so you can find me at Monday at 9 a.m. and then Tuesday I do another show with Melanie Mack, the fucking fake bitch, at 2 p.m. It's like, fuck off, dude. When your little fucking schedule didn't everybody leave legacy media and all that shit to get away from that exact crap, right? Like, well, I'm going to have to find out what happened. I'll tune into the 6 o'clock news. Fuck off. So I wanted to give this a shot, a little bit of a rough start because X decided to be gay and the stream didn't start the way that I wanted it to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload this to X after it's done. But in the meantime, we're on YouTube. We're on Rumble. We would normally be on X. We're also on Kick. So welcome to the show. And we're going to jump in here because as far as if you hear peeping in the background, we got brand new baby chicks. We got I surprised my girlfriend with baby ducks. So we've got ducks. And they chirp when they're young. They don't start quacking until they're older. And then I also bought baby chicks in order to resupply some of our flock because we lost some to a predator attack at the end of winter. We had a bobcat that was roaming around town, back and forth between the major route that runs through a well-used road that runs through, and he was running from all the way to the neighbor's property, crossing that street, coming into our woods, and he not only grabbed the rooster in broad daylight, but he killed a couple of the girls as well because they were free-ranging on the property. So, if you hear the chirping in the background, I apologize. Okay. So, getting into some of the midweek blitzkrieg, random midweek blitzkrieg here, Hassan Piker and Cenk Uygur being banned from going to the UK. I mean, if this is an irony of ironies, because they let everybody in. You're some piece of shit that came from a third world shit country. Come on in, throw trash all over the ground, shit on our sidewalks, whatever you want in Great Britain and France. Form some rape gangs and go after young women and young children. It's no problem. But if you're a Hassan Piker and Cenk Uygur, you can't come in. This is fucking hilarious.
You reap what you sow. The Kangmin Lee hate curse comes for all, okay? Because here's this story.
I follow this guy. He's funny. I follow him on X.
Uygur and Hassan Piker have been banned from entering the UK. It's a
condescending Korean laugh. Stupid American.
Funny because it's like I think one of my team members said this. He called Cenk Uygur a chunk yogurt. So we got chunk yogurt and Hassan Piker. They are barred from going into the UK, and so we don't know the official reason yet. But
they're loud.
They were supposed to address events at the SXSW London before their ETAs were canceled. So they were not allowed to enter the country and their visas were revoked. And it's hilarious. It's hilarious. So right here, let's see. This is what they say.
Really is.
Cenk Uygur, this is from The Guardian. Cenk Uygur, the host of the Young Turks online political talk show, and Hassan Piker, who runs his own hours-long stream each day, has been banned from entering the UK by the British Home Secretary, Shabana Mahmood.
Shabana Mahmood. How's that for fucking...
All right, here.
Banned by your own people.
Revel in this irony, okay? These Muslims, these Browns, were prevented from coming into the UK by another Brown. Yo, producer E's over there having a freaking the time of his life right now. All right, this is so funny. It's like the one time the UK bars like Muslims and Browns from entering the country is by another Brown.
So that did in fact happen. Now Hassan Abi Did I bookmark this? Of course I had it saved, and then it fucking. I hate it when it does this. You set one part that you want to go back to, and then you go back to the page, and it does a refresh. It was completely fucking unnecessary because I'm on other pages already. So there was one video where he was pissing and moaning about being denied the ability to go in. Now, apparently he was going to and we're going to look at it, he was invited to the SXSW, which sounds like some sort of weird LGBTQ porn thing. But they were quiet the whole time under the heater. Now they're going nuts. If you can hear that, I apologize. UK ban fallout primary day. ISRL stops Beirut incursion. So this was a podcast he was doing, but the video isn't here. So I wanted to get some of what he says about it. So he reposts something here. The pro-Palestinian American streamer Hassan Piker and his uncle say Britain's government has barred them from entering the country over their criticism of Israel. This is really odd that this has happened. That the UK, the UK has this weird dynamic going on where they're letting every Muslim, every like South African, every just reject from these shit third world countries come in and fuck their country up, but also you can't speak out against Israel, and you have to support Israel. It's a weird split down the middle that's happening there. So Britain's government has barred pro-Palestinian American streamer Hassan Piker and his uncle from entering the country, prompting criticism from free speech advocates over what they say is a crackdown on dissent related to Israel's campaign in Gaza. The United Kingdom's Home Office canceled travel permits belonging to Piker, 34, and Turkish-American broadcaster and attorney Cenk Uygur. If you didn't know, they're related, by the way. It's like his uncle or something. The pair were scheduled to speak this week at South by Southwest Technology and Business Festival. Oh, maybe that's something different than the film festival. And South by Southwest Technology and Business Festival in London, and addressed the Oxford Union, a debating society at the prestigious British University. In a statement to CNN, the Home Office said it revoked electronic travel authorization for Piker and Uygur, which permits non-UK citizens to visit the country without a visa for up to 6 months, on the grounds that their presence in the UK may not be conducive to the public good. What? What about all the illegals that are putting rape gangs together and going after young women and attacking people and trashing cities? But these two, I hate Cenk Uygur and Hassan Piker just about as much as anyone else. They're a couple of left-wing pieces of shit, anti-American left-wing scumbags. But this is a complete it makes no sense. You let in all the worst trash that the world can possibly provide you, and then tell Cenk Uygur and Hassan Piker they can't come into the country. So here's Cenk at the airport talking about this, and this is the beginning of the Young Turk show here. I'm going to let you see a little bit of this while I check on these knuckleheads. What is going on, babies? Come on out. Go get warm. Go get warm.
There are some problems here. Sorry, big time.
I'm so upset. Oh my God.
The guy!
Go under the heater. Okay, shut the fuck up.
Iran has said that the war is back on because Israel doesn't listen to ceasefires. Right before we came on air, Trump said that he was going to make Israel listen.
from the United Kingdom. I'm at the
Okay,
airport.
let me go back a little bit here.
Iran has said that the war's back on because Israel doesn't listen to ceasefires. Right before we came on air, Trump said that he was going to make Israel listen.
Oh, do you think you're in charge? You think you're in charge? How cute!
Yeah,
it's very cute.
I hate that
feel
dumb
like
bitch too.
Netanyahu
She's such
playing
a
the
dumb
role
cunt.
of Bane is saying that. And you think that gives you power over me? No, I don't think so at all. Obviously, Mark Levin wants to drive us back into war. That's not surprising. And we'll tell you more about Israeli terrorism. All right, Anna, let's get started.
Well, let's begin with this.
This is unbelievable. I've been banned from the United Kingdom. I'm at the airport here at LAX, and I was set to go to the UK to give a couple of speeches at South by Southwest London, to be on Piers Morgan tomorrow, live in the studio in London, and to go give a couple of speeches at Oxford. And I've been banned from the country. So we went to check in, and they said, your visa is rejected. I said, what do you mean it's rejected? I already had the visa from over a year ago. And it turns out the British government went out of their way to ban me from the country. So, gee, I wonder why. But hey, don't say anything. They're allowed to ban you. You're not allowed to say anything about it. And if you say anything about it, you'll be banned even more. You see the circular logic of oppression? Now you know the whole world. You can't go anywhere. You can't do anything unless it's approved, not by the British government, not by the American government, but by another government. And everybody knows it. So now I know it very personally. This is ludicrous. I don't even know how to compute this. So I have to go back home. I'm banned from the UK. What, forever? For criticizing a different government? What is this? What kind of sick oppression do we all live under? They didn't even give me a reason. Just rejected. Apparently, criticizing a genocide is so immoral to the British government.
Over the weekend, New York City welcomed Israeli war criminals and terrorists like Bezalel Smotrich, just as Cenk Uygur got banned from the UK for speaking.
She's been talking with Candace Owens. She is such a pathetic left-wing dumb bitch. She's one of those that spoke out against the treatment of the homeless and how they're treated by the right, and they should be given help and they should be given consideration for what they were going through. Then I'm paraphrasing about this, and then she ended up being sexually assaulted by a homeless person on her walk home from somewhere. And then all of a sudden she changed her tune and she decided the homeless problem has to be dealt with. We have to do something with these people. This is how disingenuous all these people are. The only thing they care about is the thing that's in their orbit. They don't care about what you're dealing with. They don't care about your suffering. They only care about me, me, me. That's what all these entitled cunts do. Now, Uncle Cenk, because this is his nephew, Uncle Cenk had little Hassan on the show so they could talk about and bitch about being denied out of the UK. This is a half hour. I'm not going to play the whole thing of these assholes. Here's some of that.
Cenk Uygur, Anna Kasparian, and Hassan Piker joins us. So now that both Hassan and I are here, you're at serious risk of public disorder. So mayhem might break out at any second now. So we're both on Hassan's stream on Twitch and our show on YouTube and everywhere else. So Haas,
Can I start off with something a little different? So we're going to talk about Cenk and
Why does he have the Jeffrey Dahmer glasses?
Hassan getting banned from the UK, but I see this as part of a broader campaign targeting you, Haas, because I don't like being put in a situation where I have to defend you. I'm just going to keep it 100. But Dave Rubin went on a show and claimed that you harassed me and other women at work, which was a brazen lie. I went out and said that it was a brazen lie. You never once harassed me at work. What do you think this is about? And why do you think it's okay, or why do they think it's okay to just make up lies about you like that? I mean, like, sexual harassment is a serious allegation. And for Dave Rubin, who I haven't spoken to in over a decade, to speak on my behalf like that and make something up is insane.
Yeah, I think it's a campaign of misinformation and smearing prominent critics of Israel, no matter which way they can. And it's very obvious that they're getting increasingly more desperate now.
Look at the communist propaganda all in the background. This guy lives in like $1 million home. If he were a communist, he'd be in the dirt and the mud with the pigs, living the same way as everybody else. There's a communist flag in the background. This guy, all of the richest people all talk about how it should be great if we did socialism or communism, and you know why they're okay with it? Because they're the leaders in the march for this to happen. Communism still has to have leaders. It has never worked out properly. So there still has to be, it's a pyramid scheme. There still has to be leaders at the top to run everybody else. And it has to be the head communist shitbags. And his plan is that if it were to go that way, he would be one of the head communist shitbags.
With Dave Rubin, it's a unique predicament because on the one hand, I'm thinking like, is this a part of a broader sophisticated smear campaign? Or rather, is it simply just Dave Rubin being stupid? Because he's just so unbelievably stupid. So with Dave Rubin, you got to think about both of the options.
True.
But yeah, I do see a coordinated effort. Fox News is probably watching this broadcast right now. They have people stationed on my broadcast every single day. They just do like a transcript readout of every single thing that I talk about and post about it and publish it. On the other side, this is obviously escalated since the subpoena, which I never received, by the way. But Will Cain was talking about how like some counter protesters that were at the Delaney facility in New Jersey that I went to with Adam Hamawi, who's running for Congress in New Jersey, to check out the heinous conditions inside of the facility and to hear from the protesters about the ways in which the state troopers in New Jersey and the federal ICE officers were actually brutalizing them for exercising their First Amendment rights. There were a lot of agitators, a lot of counter protesters that were pro-ICE and disruptors that were there specifically to yell at the protesters. They, of course, yelled at me as well. And Will Cain earlier today covered that as though it was actually the ICE protesters that were yelling at me. So,
and it was. I played that video on, I think it was a Sunday Shitbag Roundup, and I talked about it. He ended up getting chased away by his own people. He's trying to twist it and play it as a different situation happened. You can go back and check out that show. It was this past Sunday. So he goes to, show up and do his part as Mr. Left-Wing's protector. And a black guy starts getting into an argument with him and calling him a fake, a grifter. He harms his dog and shocks his dog. So he walks away with his little lefty loser crew. He's got about 10 hanger-ons that go with him and just kind of form a circle around him and push other people away. The guy's an absolute pussy. And then one other black guy breaks off, different from the other one, follows them all the way down the road and calls them a faggot, a bitch, a dog abuser, an animal abuser. And they couldn't do anything about it because it was a fellow leftist. He's trying to twist it into saying it wasn't one of the protesters. They were all there set up for the protest against the ICE facility in New Jersey.
So I feel like there's this like effort to slander and smear prominent critics of Israel, prominent critics of the Trump administration, no matter which way they can. There's obviously a bipartisan effort in some respects. Josh Gottheimer earlier today also said I was because I called the Israel Day parade that took place that had Bezalel Smotrich on a Nazi parade. I said there's Nazis at this parade. It's a Nazi parade, and prominent Democrats like Chuck Schumer and Kathy Hochul were participating in a Nazi parade, and Josh Gottheimer didn't like that. And he was saying, I've defended Hamas, and therefore, maybe my read for who's a Nazi is broken. He's been ducking me. I've told him I'd be willing to have, like regular discourse with him. But yeah, none of these guys want to actually entertain the conversation. They can't actually attack the message. They can't counter message, so they attack the messenger and disparage. That's all they know.
I mean,
but I think people are fed up with it.
They'll call you anti-Semitic, but they'll never call you wrong, right? They never engage with the substance of what you're saying. So it doesn't surprise me at all that Gottheimer's running away. If he sat down and engaged in a debate with you, I mean, what's the substance of his argument? You can't defend the indefensible. We all see what's happening in Gaza. We all see what's happening in Lebanon. We see the entire global economy being destroyed right now as we speak because of this war that the US got dragged into against Iran by Israel. So I just feel like, look, everything that's happening right now, they think it's gonna work. Like these bans, they think it's gonna work. The censorship, they think it's gonna work. Everyone sees what's going on. And in fact, everything they're doing is actually incredibly counterproductive to what they want to accomplish here.
Yeah. So Haas, to that point, how do you think that the rest of this plays out, right? I don't mean about the UK. We'll come back to them in terms of whether we're ever allowed to go there again. I mean, it's hilarious. You were just there a little while ago. I was just there a little while ago. But these are on our side.
And government.
All right, I want to see if some of their comments are on the UK.
Exactly that. What did the UK do? They prescribed Palestine Action as a terrorist organization, and then they started arresting en masse thousands of pensioners, disabled protesters, young people that would dare to say that they support Palestine Action.
Well, they're so dangerous. They're so dangerous. All those elderly people that.
Well, they are dangerous, and it's not stupid old white people that are in it. It's younger people that are in the groups too, and they are attacking people. They are going after people. They are screaming in people's faces. They're not standing there and peacefully protesting for Gaza and trying to send a message to people. They go out, they take up the middle of the street, they break all of the common laws, and then they go after people. So now they want to say, poor innocent Palestinian protesters. They're attacked. They're not treated right. They're defending the worst scum. They're just like Black Lives Matter rioters. They go and hurt people, trash a place, break things, set things on fire. But they try to lie and piss on your shoes right in front of you and tell you it's raining. Don't believe your lying eyes. Don't believe that you see all these rioters in the road hurting people. They're actually very peaceful. It's the other side's fault who decided to engage with them, or talk with them, or be counter to them. It's their fault, not the violent radicals that they represent.
That they rounded up and arrested. So dangerous. And by the way, Haas, Cenk alluded to the fact that you were in the UK not that long ago. And I want to show everyone what you were talking about when you were in the UK not too long ago. Let's take a look at
University.
That. Anti-Semitism is a canary in the coal mine of fascism. It's one of the oldest bigotries that has caused those of the Jewish faith a tremendous amount of pain. From pogroms to the Holocaust, Jews have always been singled out by those in power as a scapegoat for instability and economic volatility people in power cause. A resilient, nascent anti-Semitism is a constant threat, especially as economic instability makes those in power seek out old targets. They're not very creative, usually. They just always rehash the same propaganda over and over again. This is precisely the reason why I am terrified of the conflation of anti-Zionism and anti-Semitism. The conflation is dangerous. Valid criticisms against the state, especially as all of the violence is unfolding, and everyone can see it. Valid criticisms against the state committing these atrocities and tying it back to Judaism is a cynical ploy to stop all matter of conversation is truly terrifying. And I think it directly causes anti-Semitism to fester.
And look, I agree with everything you said there, and I don't
of course
see
you do,
the
you're a dumb cunt that bends over for everybody on your crew. So his argument there is the anti-Zionism and anti-Semitism. He wants to say that it isn't anti-Semitism. He's trying to put the focus on anti-Zionism. So anyone that is a Zionist that are supporting Israel or greater Israel. So he wants to break the entire argument apart. That's what he's trying to do. And say, no. There's no anti-Semitism. People don't hate Jews. they hate the ones that want to support Israel in its bid to grow and expand in the Middle East and take over every other country. So he's trying to just do the same left-wing argument, weasel his way around the entire discussion. So at the end, he ends up at his narrative and their narrative.
Oppress you on behalf of Israel.
Yeah, I don't know. There's only two options out of this. Obviously, it's either de-escalation on behalf of the British government.
So I don't want to go for the whole time with this faggot Hassan Piker or Cenk Uygur. They're both douchebags. But I just think it's really, so what they were supposed to be going to was this, because I wasn't familiar with it. It was the SXSW UK, refers to the London edition of the South by Southwest Festival, a global event celebrating music, film, technology, and culture. Now, he was supposed to have been invited to two different things. He was going to do something else. And then he was also invited by the people that do this festival to show up as well and do a meet and greet and stuff. And people bought tickets so that they could, the ones that are fans of him, specifically see him. Now, this is what, we'll keep going here a little bit. Such decisions are based solely on an assessment of potential risk an individual may pose to UK society, the Home Office said, adding that individuals may choose to apply for a visa if they still wish to travel to the UK. Now, this is why I think that this is happening, because remember that he went to Cuba, and he went with the other lefty loons and to bring supplies to Cuba, but also that he may have been meeting with Cuban government officials and military officials and potentially providing them information or potentially a quid pro quo happening there. That's the reason he's having the charges in the United States brought against him at this time. And now I think that makes a little more sense that the UK is doing that now, because they don't want to bring in somebody that is going to meet with other groups that might, be a risk to the UK as well. But again, it's a double-edged sword, because you've invited the entire third world to come into the country. All of them also have backroom ties to terrorist organizations, and they don't appear to be doing anything about it. So I don't like Cenk and I don't like Hassan, but you're going to ban those. You're going to allow those other people, but ban those two. I mean, I'm just calling balls and strikes. It just doesn't seem right to me unless you are finding that Hassan Piker has some ties in communications with terrorist organizations, and this plays into all of it. And that would be very interesting. I mean, I absolutely think Hassan Piker should be investigated and the truth should be found out of what is really going on with him. In a text message to CNN on Monday, Piker harshly criticized Israel and Britain, charging that free expression and due process in the UK are falling by the wayside at the behest of a foreign apartheid state and its expansionist interest in the Middle East. He added, "This is a real crisis of democracy." Uygur said he discovered he'd been barred when he tried to board a flight to the British capital. That's great to fucking get it at the last minute. Holy shit. Okay. So, in doing this show, I want to not just focus on one or a couple of things, but I want to catch up with everything that I'm behind on and things that I'm interested in that are happening. So that was the Hassan Cenk Uygur situation. This was one in Massachusetts where, this was real, by the way, it's not the B, so they're telling the truth, where a person, police responded to a call about a man in camo with a bazooka, and it turned out to be a landscaper with a leaf blower. I don't know that they have one of the military's most elite units. This really happened. It's crazy. Some of these people, yeah, they accuse somebody of being in camo with a bazooka, and it was, I don't know if it was a Mexican landscaper. I know it was a landscaper, and he had a leaf blower, and they thought it was Arnold Schwarzenegger with a weapon. Absolutely ridiculous stuff. This right here, I don't know how you guys feel about Sean Ryan. I think he's fake. I think he's a plant more than he is than anything else. I think he's meant to just interview these people and take the discussion and the discord in just like 20 different directions and throw people off. So apparently he has Megyn Kelly on. Why the fuck you would have Megyn Kelly? Who gives a fuck about Megyn Kelly? So Sean Ryan might be the biggest douchebag doomer and podcastian. That's saying a lot, Jay says on X. I never wanted Trump to win. No Rubio or Vance in 28. They're all yes men. Now they're pushing Catholicism all of a sudden. Vance and Rubio have been open Catholics for decades. Sean is literally dumb as a rock. So,
which I think is fucking hilarious.
Let's hear a little bit of a clip from him with Megyn Kelly.
Kind of like that time
I hate that I got placed in that. I never even wanted Trump to win until he was the only guy to vote for. But
well, that's the problem, is that elections remain binary choices. So it's like, do I wish I had voted for Kamala? Hell no.
that's not what I meant. I meant during all the other people that were running for the Republican side, I was like, please just get one of these other people in.
Yeah.
And then when he got it, I was like, oh, fuck. And then I was like, please don't put anybody that's worth a shit in the administration because you're going to be garbage afterwards. There's no chance, especially right now.
You're not feeling optimistic about J.D. Vance 2028?
No, or Rubio, or anybody that's in there. Because they're all yes men fucking puppets. Oh. Now they're all talking about Catholicism, which I think is fucking hilarious.
Well,
let's talk about Catholic. Oh, you're a fucking Catholic all of a sudden?
There's no way to be in the Trump administration without being a yes man. You won't last.
So hasn't Biden, so hasn't Barack Obama. It didn't matter that they were pro-abortion and pro this and that and cutting children's body parts off. They would all spew. There's one thing I only partially agree with. They all claim they're Catholics and they're all full of shit. But for him to point out that Trump and people in the administration were doing it, well, did he say the same thing about Biden and Barack Obama when they would claim about how Catholic they are and they go to church, but they were fine with cutting kids' body parts off and fine with everything else?
Fastest growing Christian denomination in the world right now. Now all of a sudden we're going to advertise that we're fucking Catholic. Right.
So this guy's ex-CIA and ex-Navy SEAL. I don't trust him as far as I can throw him. I think he's a plant. I think he's there to throw everybody off the scent. I think he's there to just to do this bullshit and have his talk show. And one of the other things that somebody brought up with a post like this, and I agree with, do you notice that all of these assholes just go on each other's shows and interview each other? Right? Sean Ryan goes on this person's show. Megyn Kelly goes on that person's show. Ben Shapiro interviews with Anna Kasparian. That was from the Young Turks. The Young Turks interview this one. Or they bring on Cenk Uygur, and they all... It's one gigantic circle jerk with all of these people that are supposed to be giving us the real deal. They're supposed to be the arbiters of truth. And we've gone through this already. And that was with the legacy media before podcasters and content creators became more prominent, and you could actually get this information and the view from the people and people that on the ground. Someone that's maybe worth listening to, not one of these elitist assholes that are giving you their narrative, their particular take, or who and what they're being paid for and who their backer is. I mean, I hate it when I hate interviews in general. And all of these assholes show up on each other's shows, and it's just a fucking circle jerk of each other. That's all it is. There are rarely, if ever, hard-hitting questions. They rarely, if ever, hold each other to point, other than when you get two opposing people together, and then it's a debate. And then they throw shade at each other, and they have problems with each other. Then you get some stuff coming out. But if it comes to a sit-down interview, it's a circle jerk. It's barely worth bothering. You never get anything useful. Okay, jumping back to Cenk Uygur here, where he reveals that there's inbreeding in their family.
Did you guys know that 10% of those married in the world are married to their first cousin?
Isn't that amazing?
10% of those married are married to their first cousin.
1 in 10 married couples are married to their first cousin.
In the world. In the world, yeah. So in the United States, it's frowned upon, right? But I do want to say it has been recent scientific evidence indicating that the likelihood of a child being born with certain disabilities because of incest is much smaller than we thought.
By the way, you think you don't know anyone who, in America, you were joking around that 1 in 10.
He's going to out himself now. They're both Turkish, so they're Muslims, Cenk and Hassan. Going to out himself,
etc. My grandparents are first cousins.
Really?
Yeah. Might explain a lot.
My grandparents are first cousins. Fucking congratulations, you inbred fucks. No wonder you're both morons. All right. So we're in Pride Month. That shit month where we have to celebrate people that take it up the ass. And tranny fucking queers. But here's some interesting stuff. Drag Queen Storytime has been canceled from Madison Heights Arts and Pride Festival this year after the city council voted 4-3 to remove it from the event lineup Monday night, just days before the festival is scheduled to take place. Good for them. Good for them. Why does a man in a dress and makeup have to read a book, which is a gay book, to children? And we already know the answer is to indoctrinate the children. This is to make it normal. To make the whole thing normal and keep it in the public space long term, as long as absolutely possible. So you keep people talking about it. This is just pedophilia wrapped up in a cause, is all it is. These guys that dress up as women in makeup and all this stuff, they get an internal sexual thrill for doing this for children. That's called pedophilia. I know they like to say, well, we're just gay and exercising our rights. We're not doing anything else. Then why the fuck do you want to read and dance for children? Go be gay and go dress up like a fucking woman and go do your thing at the bar or wherever it is you're going. Why did you decide to involve children? Because you're a fucking pedophile. That's why. Here's another thing here. Funny how only one of them works. So Royal Dutch Airlines puts up, it doesn't matter who you click with. Happy Pride Amsterdam. Look, that seatbelt doesn't work. That seatbelt doesn't work. This is the only seatbelt that works because it's straight. They just felted themselves with that one. Fucking retards. So Phoenix, here's another good one here. Phoenix Pride has filed for bankruptcy on the eve of Pride Month. The world is healing. This June, some of the sports teams and everything I'm going to show you, they've done their regular bullshit and they've changed their logo to the pride flag. You shouldn't go to any of these games. They're all shit teams. All the ownership is shit teams. Don't even waste your time and money. But I like to see this one. So the Phoenix Pride has made the incredibly difficult decision to file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection as part of a financial restructuring process aimed at preserving the future of our organization. For more than 4 decades, Phoenix Pride has been a place of visibility, celebration, and advocacy, and connection for LGBTQ plus minus divided by sign. People across Arizona since 1981, this community has built something powerful together, a space where people could feel seen, safe, supported, and be their authentic selves. I'm just me. Today, we're asking for that same community to stand with us during one of the most challenging moments in our history. No thanks. This decision was not made lightly. Rising operational costs, economic uncertainty, shifts in sponsorship, and fundraising, partly due to current political climate and administration. Ooh, shots fired at the Trump administration. How about people are sick of this fucking shit? And increasing demands on nonprofit organizations have created circumstances we can no longer navigate alone. Like many pride organizations and LGBTQ plus minus divided by sign nonprofits across the country, Phoenix Pride has faced mounting financial pressure that threaten our long-term sustainability. I wonder if they ended up losing their funding from USAID. Chapter 11 gives us the opportunity to reorganize our finances while continuing operations and working toward a path forward. Our mission does not change. Our commitment to the LGBTQ community remains unwavering, but we cannot move through this chapter without the support. For anyone who has attended the event, volunteered, partnered with us, sponsored, donated, or simply showed up with pride has helped shape what this organization means. Now we're asking the community partners, sponsors, and supporters to continue standing with us as we work to rebuild and protect this organization for future generations. Your current advocacy and support matter more now than ever. So goodbye and farewell to Phoenix Pride. I hope you fucking proverbially burned to the ground. Fuck this shit and what you're trying to do to families and children. So Candace Owens going to Russia. I'm going to try to get to this on the shitbag roundup on Sunday because she's a shitbag. This fake fucking grifter Yeah, why is there an entire month celebrating anal sex between men? And why are all the professional sports leagues so hyped up about it? That's a pretty good question there. Happy Pride Month from the Green Party. Yeah, if you go to a Muslim country, that's what's happening to you when you do it. It's ironic that that they want to work with Muslims in order to help their events when they don't even support what you do. Viva Frey says it's like in North Korea. When dear leader dies, everyone has to show their love for dear leader by crying in theatrical hysteria. The harder you cry, the more you love dear leader, and the more your neighbors know you love dear leader. Everyone, excuse me, everyone knows it's totally fake and insincere, but it's the game you have to play not to fall for the wrong side of the regime. We're witnessing the exact same ideological theatrics with Pride Month. There's the Falcons doing it, the Eagles, Canada is changing theirs for their broadcasting network. The Athletic A's are changing it. It's such bullshit. Look at all the teams. The NFL has been compromised, which this has been happening every year. But I always make a point to show this off every single year. Shame on all of these teams. This is one of the many reasons I don't watch football anymore. I really don't watch sports at all. I wanted to get back into hockey because hockey seems to be less gay and not play into all this shit. Even FIFA, even soccer is doing it. I put a post on my X where they put up something and put up the thing, and this is for all the gooners. And they were like, that. I was like, that word does not mean what you think it means. Halo, this is the reason Halo is a dying brand. We wish you all happy Pride Month for Toei Animation. A bunch of queers there. No idea what they do, don't care either. Islam is for everyone. There you see some LGBTQ folk coming off the top of the building. One Ummah, many colors, one love. Look at this. Baseball is for all. Happy Pride Month. From baseball. I mean, same. You've seen the Falcons one already. Same shit. This is one of the worst ones in my opinion. This is from Sesame Street. Just the indoctrination of kids. This is to create, they're young and impressionable. This is to create new generations of confused young people who will be told it's fine to not know what your gender is. It's fine to not even have a gender. Why don't you pick one when you feel like it? And maybe we'll help you. And a boy can be a girl and a girl can be a boy. This is fucking disgusting that Sesame Street does this shit. I'm glad that the Trump administration took their funds away. Apparently, they're still finding a way to keep going, but the whole thing needs to be shut down. It is not what it was when I grew up. This was him. This was Hassan. I've been fighting the far right for a decade plus. I would never imagine the Labour government would ban me from entering the UK. Dark times ahead for the West. Liberalism is dead. MAGA fascism and its corrosive influence is felt everywhere. I wish, dude, that's not happening. Here's one. Here's one. God forbid. I thought this was America. Why can't we have fun? This woman was arrested after posing as a Costco sample lady, was handing out shots of tequila and tiny ketchup cups to celebrate the weekend. Now, I mean, if you're an adult, you're going to go over and you know that you can tolerate alcohol and you can have it. I know she doesn't work for the company and she's not supposed to be there, but God bless her for trying to brighten everyone's weekend. I mean, come on. I thought this was America. We can't have a little bit of fun. This was talking about Megyn Kelly returning to the Sean Ryan show. Podcaster class just goes around interviewing each one a dozen times over. It's literally the same people on each other's shows. That's exactly what it is. And you don't get anything from it. And you don't learn anything that you want to learn. There's no like gotcha thing or really hard hitting information that gets you anything at all. Okay, I'm going to get to the Candace thing and Tucker on the Sunday Shitbag Roundup. This was crazy. This is crazy. New Yorkers with 16, this is what's being proposed. New Yorkers with 16 or more speeding violations will now have to install devices in their cars to limit their driving speeds. The device will use GPS tracking to restrict how fast the car can drive to the posted speed limit. The device will be wired into the vehicle's onboard computer. If drivers refuse to install the device, their registrations will be revoked after 45 days. I mean, you guys let me know what you think about that. I guess it can make things safer, but it's like all of these restrictions that they are trying to put on people is just more and more an infringement on everybody's rights. I know they say that driving is privilege, it's not a right. It should be a right. What anywhere in the Constitution says you do or do not have the right to drive a car? Okay, well, it's not in there, but we have the right to live our best lives. So why would it be a privilege to drive and not a right to drive? If I'm an American and we can purchase something, then I have the right to be able to purchase something. But you would take it away, deny me, or the whole DMV is a bullshit thing. Are they making roads safer when police can read license plates and chase people down and they can track you in the whole thing, and the DMV can send you a letter that says we've suspended your registration, you can't drive anymore, so you can't get to work, but you have to pay all your fees, but you can't drive to work to pay all your fees because we suspended your license? The whole thing is a bullshit circle. It should be a right to be able to drive on the road because you pay the taxes for it. You pay bullshit excise taxes. You pay regular state and local taxes that we're all getting ripped off for. It should be a right to drive, not a privilege. And if they're speeding, everyone speeds. The speed limits are from like 30 years ago, 40 years ago. None of them have been updated for the increased traffic as population has increased in population zones. They never change them. So if you had a 40 miles per hour on somewhat of a regular route, but it was from, 1960 when the population was 20,000 less than it is right now. Now you go to all of the development that's happened in your city or your town, all the population boom that's happened, and even more people are using this road now, but you haven't changed the speed limit on it. So now everyone's backed up because they're all doing the speed limit, and the road's packed from the increased population boom. So maybe you benefit from increasing it 10 more miles to 50 miles an hour. Maybe you can do an investigation and you can figure out, could that be a benefit for everybody? But some of these speeds are so old. They don't even reflect where we are right now. You'll go onto the highway and it'll say 65. Everyone's doing 80. If that. Some of them are 90 plus when I've been on there. But the speed limit's 65. Why? The place is packed at 5 o'clock. There is 10 times more traffic than what it had when you built the thing. So it's just crazy to me that 16, let's be honest. Let's call balls and strikes. 16 speeding violations is bad. Two things can be true at once. I don't want the government regulating me and telling me what I can do with my car and my life. Also, 16 speeding violations are bad. This is this witch, Kathy Hochul in New York.
Controversy around it when it makes so much sense. You think about someone, I'm going to ask these gentlemen here, if someone gets 16 speeding tickets in a year, would you consider that an excess speeder? Yeah, that's not normal, right, guys?
It is.
I mean, they're just looking for an accident. They're looking to end up in this repair shop. So what we said, we have to protect people. There's pedestrians, there's moms pushing strollers, there's people on bikes, there's kids going to school. We have to protect people. And if someone is so flagrantly violating the laws that there's a callous disregard of human life, is the only way I can describe it. There have to be consequences. Have to be. So now we have technology that says there's a device that can be installed in a vehicle that would limit how fast you can go. And I think that's what happens. There's plenty of notification. You can appeal if you want to question one of the tickets in the prod. There's due process. We'll make sure. But installing this, and if you don't install it, after 45 days, you lose your registration. You should not be on the roads if you don't care about whether or not you're going to kill somebody. And when you hug a mom, lots of moms, as I've had to do over the last few months, who've lost children, that pain never grows away, but they at least have some comfort in their hearts that maybe they can prevent the next family from having to grieve the way they did because of someone's reckless indifference to life.
So what's going to end up happening with this? The state is going to have a deal with some company in order to install the devices. They are going to make money off of this. They're going to work in conjunction with the company. The company is going to make money. The state and local, the city is going to make money off of putting these devices in your car, because you are going to have to pay for the mandatory device to be put in your car. And they're just going to make more money off of this. Even catching the cops sitting on the road and catching speeders, that's extra taxation. That's all that is. It's under the guise of keeping everybody safe, but it's extra taxation. You've already paid your excise taxes. You've already paid your registration tax. You've already paid the taxes and putting your car on the road and with the DMV. Now, if you're not a little good boy and girl and behave yourself on the road, you'll receive another ticket, which is another tax. And then you'll pay money to fight that if you don't agree with it, or you'll pay the money for it and it will be an extra tax on top of you. Or if you do fight it, you go in front of the magistrate, which is also going to cost you more money. And then your chance is 50-50 that they're even going to work with you or just fuck you over and make you pay it anyway. The whole thing is extra taxation. And New York is notorious for it. They're already having money problems. They voted their communist in. The communist is already saying there's not enough in the budget to run all of his fake bullshit promises that he said he was going to do. Now they're coming up with these little programs, once again, under the guise of safety. With some of the roads in fucking New York, I don't know how anyone speeds. Anytime I've gone on vacation and I've been driving through New York to get to my destination, it's fucking bumper and bumper traffic. I can barely get around. You're doing 10 miles an hour. Who's speeding? What roads can you speed on? It's ridiculous. All right, guys. That's what I have for the Blitzkrieg today. If you guys like the show and you like what I'm doing and you enjoyed it, the birds are driving me nuts. They're babies. I have to get them settled in. They calmed down for a little bit and then they went nuts. So if you like the show, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/Relief Valve Podcast, or to make it even easier, you can just scan the QR code that's right there and it will take you directly there. I do this in my own free time. I'm out of work on a back injury right now, but regardless of one or the other, I'm working or I'm out. I do the show in my own free time. I do it out of my own pocket for the software, the AI to make thumbnails and put something interesting up for everybody that's watching the show. So if you're willing to do something to support and help me keep paying for this stuff and keep being able to run the show and move it forward, I appreciate it. Also, if you can give the show a like and subscribe, and then hit the notification bell so you get the midweek Blitzkrieg updates as well. And we'll just go through some shit and we'll have some fun with it, all right? Thanks, everyone, and I'll talk to you again later on this week. And if I don't, you never know when the Blitzkrieg's coming. So if I don't, Sunday shitbag roundup on 9 p.m. We'll catch up with the rest of this stuff. Thanks, everyone. Talk to you soon.